I heard about you and yours traveling beyond the stars to avert the final days. Good work, that. Mind you, not all our woes have vanished just yet. I speak of the blasphemies, of course, for despair is not something one can easily cast off. Though we've come a long way, the battle is not yet done. Preventing further transformations won't be easy, but we're a damn sight closer to solving the problem than before.
We've had reports from Ala Mhigo of what's believed to be a blasphemy. We both wish we could go to lend our support, but we've been ordered to stay here for the time being.
If you are ready to lend us your aid, I'll apprise you of the situation. We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Ala Mhigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beast, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for aid. Well, no man or woman alive could hold a candle to the warrior of light, but in any case, we're stretched rather thin at present. Given that we know precious little of our foe, we'd sooner turn to the best of the best now than wait until the need is undeniable.
No doubt my Ulda and comrades will be heartened to have you fighting alongside them. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we have joined our Ala Mhigan allies in their hunt for the fiend. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at FFXIV. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops. I'm sure.
As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Ala Mhigan quarter and report for duty. Commander Uldain is overseeing the hunt, and he will explain all upon your arrival. May Rod grant you strength. When you get to Ala Mhigo, head to the square outside the palace. One of the soldiers stationed there will explain the rest.
Mistress Khpein. We were told you were on your way, but this is even quicker than expected. I'll tell Commander Uldain you've arrived. One moment, please.
Glad you could join us. Now that the far greater crisis has been resolved, we may, and must, turn our undivided attention to matters of a smaller but no less deadly scale. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. As our man in Thavnair will have told you, a blasphemy is loose in Ala Mhigo. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for a mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it, and soon, for as long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. As was the case in Thabnair, the Blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it is allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. There were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Ala Mhigan corridor fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. But beyond the fact he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the descriptions of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad, and we've no clues as to his name or background. For all we know, he might not have even been born in Ala Mhigo, might have been the son of refugees come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating, though. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair, and whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we are to prevent future tragedies, it is imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how, by granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up to it? You have my thanks. And as chance would have it, we've just received word that a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Ala Mhigan. The troops stationed there have already put them down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there.
Knowing what they are, who they were. Could any of us end up like that?
Ugh. It's my own damn fault for being so careless. What must Commander Alden think of me?
Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and cull the lot of them, victory did not come easily. It's times like these that our lack of healers is most sorely felt. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me thereafter.
I saw them change. Right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect. And thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand.
Gods be good. I feel reborn. Hold on. You're Khpein, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the resistance in the first place, and now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you, thank you.
It was good of you to come all this way, though I never doubted for a moment that you wouldn't.
After all you've done for the people of Gyrovania, we couldn't ask for more. And yet, here you are.
For treating the wounds of those soldiers, you have my thanks, and theirs too, no doubt. It seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my search is any indication, but we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of the transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken.
I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Khpein. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously, it has its limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organization as well, which is what brought me here. But no sooner had I arrived than those locals turned.
Ragnfrid, I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us?
The ones who underwent the change are the very people we were trying to help. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Lise held in the royal palace marked a turning point for all of Gyrovania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. But there are still so many problems to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. Our main concern is the welfare of Ala Mhigans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society. In particular, the surviving families of the cranial Khpein. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities. Why they'd swear to serve the Empire. And the answer was simple, because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Garleans win, not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. By making that choice the right one for a man, at the end of his tether. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars never will regardless. Those who've returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who'd pledged allegiance to Garlemald. This is not the Ala Mhigo we dreamed of. But after 20 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins. To see that no one is cast aside.
It's a cause I support, and it's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator.
And in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural. but despite our early successes, the families of the skulls continue to refuse our help.
I think I see where this is leading. They're the ones who turned, yes. It comes as no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Ala Mhigans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt, and for some, it might be too much to bear.
I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter, though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories.
With the echo. I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned.
I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation. A man raising his son. Only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day, his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hope it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. He died in the revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself, right up until the change took him.
I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could.
The sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion.
If they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. Growing up half Garlean in Ala Mhigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated. To hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. And while I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphino, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart. And I owe it to ARR and Wally to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Girubania again. So, Commander Aldine, do we have your approval to continue our work?
Of course. There's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. That even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together, we will prevail. Now that we have Khpein on hand to aid the troops, I believe we are ready to face any beasts we encounter. Though I fear it is only a matter of time before others appear, I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Very good. For now, let's return to the city.
After all you've done for the people of Giravania, we couldn't ask for more. And yet, here you are.
With you on our side, those beasts are no match for us.
Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. 'Twas the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable. I was fortunate that you and the other scions came to my rescue. That I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Ala Mhigo. We must help them to heal and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were, so that we can look to who we can be. Who we should aspire to be. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer. And we will be better for it, ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, may Ralgr watch over and keep you.